What's up, everybody? Crypto Noah back with another yield farming strategy video. This is kind of like a part 2 to my what to do with your yield farming rewards video. I just wanted to drill this point home more because I feel like based off the questions I've been getting, I can make it a little bit more clearer. So in this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about why I never compound my yield farming rewards. So before we get started, I do have to say none of this is financial advice. These are all my strategies, my own perspectives, and they should be treated as such. Always do your own research, but use this channel as a starting point. Let's hop right into it. So first, let's start off with what is yield farming. So there's multiple ways to get a yield. You can stake on a blockchain's validator network to secure the network, such as the ETH 2.0 beacon chain. You can stake your funds on Aave or Compound to facilitate borrowing and lending and get paid passive income. You can stake your funds on a platform like Nexus Mutual to help facilitate insurance premiums. But the most profitable way, the way that we're talking about in this video and the way that we always talk about on this channel, is using your funds to facilitate trades on decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap, such as Trader Joe, etc. So essentially you deposit your funds in the form of pairs, for example, ETH USDC, and whenever someone trades from ETH to USDC or USDC to ETH in the particular pool that you deposited your funds in, you make a percentage of the trading fees. The percentage of the trading fees that you make depends on what your liquidity makes up in the pool. For example, if you deposit 10K and it's 100K in the pool, you make 10% of all the trading fees. Moving a step further, Uniswap created something called concentrated liquidity that allows you to provide liquidity within a certain price range. So going back to the ETH USDC example, instead of just depositing ETH and USDC and whatever the price of ETH is, you're making passive income. You can select a price range where you want your liquidity used in. So for example, if you think the price of ETH is going to be between 2 and 5K, you can provide liquidity in that range. And as long as the price is trading within that range, you're making passive income. All right. And when you're making this passive income, you get paid in the two assets that you deposited into the pool, for example, ETH and USDC. So now the topic of this video is why I never take my ETH and my USDC, for example, and compound it back into that same pool. I always take my rewards and send them to another wallet. Now, before I even talk about this point, this isn't the only right way to do it. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. One of my favorite books on investing is Market Wizards. And the biggest eye-opener when reading that book is that one person's strategy is another person's list of what they will never do. But this person made billions doing it. And you see that kind of thing all the time. What one guy will never do is the exact thing a guy did to make billions of dollars. All right, so just wanted to make that clear. This is what I found is the best way to do it for me, I guess. I mean, it seems like the best way to do it, period, but I guess it depends on what your goal is. I like to look at yield farming as just a tool, not an end-all be-all. I don't worry about impermanent loss. Actually, most of the strategies that I do depends on how much impermanent loss I can get because that's how I win. But some people look at yield farming as its own little closed loop and they're trying to outperform impermanent loss because their argument is, oh, I would have made more money just hodling. Well, while that's the case for the time frame that you're looking at, are you buying and selling every time? What about the taxable events? Screw the taxable events. You're never going to buy the top and sell the bottoms. So the market is only doing three things at all times. It's trending upward, it's trending downward, and it's going sideways. And you want to have a strategy in place, or at least I like to have a strategy in place to where no matter what one or three of those things is happening, I'm able to optimize my portfolio and use a tool that helps me during that time. So you have cash, you have altcoins, and then you have market making. And this is a biblical concept, and this is why I made a whole video describing this. This is why God made Abraham rich in silver, gold, and livestock. Silver was the medium of exchange for everyday transactions. The gold was the speculative asset, was used for larger purchases, and the livestock was the cash flow so that you can accumulate more silver and gold. In today's age, that's cash, assets, and market making or yield farming. And normally, market making was something that only mainstream banks and financial institutions could do, but now everyday individuals for the first time in history have been able to do it for the past 4 years. So when the market is going up, that is when your assets shine because you can sell them at high prices for cash. When the market is down, that's when your cash shines because you can buy assets on the cheap And yield farming or market making is good. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife because it's good through all of those times. You can do market making strategies for bull markets, for bear markets, but it works best during choppy sideways markets. And it allows you to accumulate more cash and more assets so that they can have their time to shine more and grander. So now let's talk about why I never compound my rewards. I rebalance my portfolio on a monthly basis instead of just compounding. And here's why. And this is the most important part of the video, in my opinion. Okay, so I made a video on how you can turn 10K into a large amount. I forget the exact amount on Maple. I think Maple's gone 100x. So I want to accumulate as much of it as I can. Now, this is my strategy on how to maximize that. I already have a bag of Maple that I'm hodling, right? So I don't have to worry about impermanent loss. Like, oh, what if Maple moons? Because my hodl Maple position is going to moon, and I have my take profit strategy set in place. Watch that video. I went through all my take profit strategies and my yield farming strategy. But so this is my range I'm providing liquidity in for Maple, from this bottom line to this top line, and also from this middle line to this bottom line. But I'm actually going to take it out of this and just put it all into this one because so I'm eventually expecting Maple to outperform ETH. This is Maple ETH. So as this is going up, that means Maple's outperforming ETH. So eventually, I'm expecting this to go out of range. I'm not trying to keep it in range the whole time. I just feel like we're going to trade within this range for a while, and this will probably go back down when and if we get an ETH ETF approval. But right now, I've been in this position for exactly a month. I deposited 12K, and now I'm up to 16K. So my principal is up $4,000, and I also have pretty much $4,000 in rewards. Now, normally what I do with my rewards, I'll take the ETH and buy more Maple or buy, some other altcoins that I'm bullish on, such as Pendle, such as Clearpool, etc., etc. But here's why I don't compound. If I take all of these rewards and I compound it back into the pool, it will increase my APR, all right? But at any second, Maple can go on a run and go up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700%. And now since I'm compounding, once it goes out of range, I'm going to be in all ETH. And now all that Maple that I accumulated, I don't get to benefit from any of the price appreciation, right? I just go out of range and now I'm in 100% ETH. And that's not a bad thing because I'm bullish on ETH. But let's say I accumulate an extra $6,000 in Maple, right? And instead of compounding it, I take that Maple and I send it to another wallet. Now I can turn that $6,000 into 6 figures. And when I go to rebalance my portfolio after that month, the 20% of my portfolio that I use for yield farming is going to represent a larger portion. And then it's just rinse and repeat. So just to summarize, the whole reason why I don't compound is because once it goes out of range, if I'm just compounding, I don't get to experience any of the price appreciation up until the range. And yeah, I can have a wider range, but then that's just going to decrease my APY. I want my range not too wide, but not too narrow so that I'm still able to get a good APR. As you can see, I'm getting 254% right now. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So I'm taking my rewards, sending them. When Maple moons, I get to experience the price appreciation because I was claiming my rewards. And it's good to have a long-term time preference on yield farming because if you do this long enough, eventually, and I got to this point a few years ago, you'll get to the point where you're yield farming with house money. So you don't care about impermanent loss. Like you're just having this money work for you, accumulating assets that you're bullish on so you can sell at higher prices later. So you can then take those profits and then rebalance your yield farming portfolio, not compound, but rebalance with profits. And then you just rinse and repeat. And this is why we say yield farming should be used as a tool, not an end all be all. And the tool is to help increase your cash in your altcoin positions. That's how I look at it. And that's how I've been winning at it. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video, but I want to say one more thing. Guys, if you're interested in yield farming and you want to yield farm like a professional and be able to deploy the same strategies that market makers have been profiting on since the 19th century, click the link in the description, book a free strategy session. You'll either talk to me or one of our team members or coaches, and we'll see if our program is a good fit for you. We have a flagship course that teaches you how to conduct proper technical analysis, mindset, security protocols, intro and advanced yield farming so that you can literally print money like a TradFi market maker. If that sounds interesting to you, like I said, click the link in the description and let's chat. But with that, if you got value, I ask that you drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know what esoteric topic you want me to cover within yield farming or whatever. I thank you so much for tuning in. I love every single one of you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and trade safe.